to waive condition 3? It's
No, no,
not,
I just-
that's not relative to
We should,
the site plan,
Well,
to
no,
Allen
they're ready.
Estates,
I left the
correct?
supervisor.
It's some other site plan.
Hey, John?
Hi, John.
John, I left the folder in the supervisor's office. Could you
Okay,
grab it
let
for
me
me?
check that out. Okay. this is the first
Donna
time
has
I'm
it.
reading
Yeah,
Not Donna,
I think it
Joyce.
was- secret
Sorry, thanks.
condition, but let me check it out.
okay.
Okay. I guess we'll start with the agenda for today. And Mr. Zolo, I see you have, and members of the board, Whisper Landings on for secret and a tentative approval subject to the BZA. Does that meet all special exception criteria if the BZA gives approval? And could you give us the ramifications of the?
The simple answer is yes. So the resolution that was prepared, and first, the secret, I reviewed, and Russ Barnett in his office did an excellent job on it. So secret is fine. The board can vote on that. And with respect to the special exception that's proposed, the special exception criteria, the approval is subject to the variances, and the board has the authority to do that. Also, just so you know, this is the same procedure that was followed in the case involving Amber Court. The board has the power to approve the special exception permit subject to the variances. Obviously, if the Board of Zoning Appeals denies the variances, the subject permit fails, the special permit fails. But there's, that's fine. I spoke to Frank Dupas about it yesterday, and everything is in good order with that.
Well, does the board have the ability to deny it?
Excuse me?
If the board doesn't like it, does the board right now have the ability to deny the special exception petition?
Yes, as if the board wanted to deny the special exception permit today, the criteria is subject to the variances. Let me just rephrase this.
Let me rephrase my question.
Okay.
We know the resolution is subject to the BZA, just like Amber Court. All
Okay,
right.
I understand your question now. Here-
Okay.
The answer to the question is, they meet the special criteria, subject to, again, those two variances. So right now, the board really is in no position to deny the special permit because it's subject to those variances. If the Board of Zoning Appeals denies the variances,
Then it's automatically,
it's
the
automatically
petition is
denied,
denied.
right.
Denied.
yeah.
But under general municipal law,
It's town law, section 274A, talks about the special permits and the ability to get variances. So general rule is if you meet the special exception criteria, for the sake of discussion, if there were no variances, if they meet the special exception criteria, which are general criteria and specific criteria, the board has to grant the approval.
and if you didn't grant, breaking the law?
If you didn't grant it, you'd be subject to an Article 78, and with 99.99% sure the town board would be reversed on an Article 78 proceeding.
Okay, thanks, John. Anybody else have any questions on that?
I just, if I might, I just was a speaker at a seminar on the Bar Association, and I was given a case this morning, Sunrise Plaza Associates, which is a case that I referenced in my seminar, and it talks about special exception criteria. I just want to read, if I might, just so the board kind of gets a handle on the special exception, which is, I guess it's just kind of old hat. Let me see if I can find it. Just talks about that a special use permit is already found to be consistent with zoning. See if I can find it. I'm sorry. If you want to, I'll look for it. I'm just looking for my language over here.
We can come back to it in a minute.
Okay, thanks.
I'll just go over, there's 4 read-ons I had sent down to everyone yesterday. One is a part-time appointment for recreation, school-age childcare, a transfer highway of $1,500 from contingency to cover a part-time payroll. The other one is the sale of the recycled plastic and metals. And the last one is transfer of funds for signs. So those are the 4 read-ons, additional to the printed agenda, if everybody is okay with those.
Yep, yeah, I'm fine.
Anybody else have anything else?
Just 2 things. One, I just spoke to Frank. On the site plan this afternoon, there's number 2. as I referenced Frank and I called Peter, it's not related to the Allen Estates, which is number one. It just says the applicant is requesting the town board of site plan review waive condition 3. Peter was gonna talk to you about identifying what site plan that is that we're waiving a condition. Okay, so that the board knows. Secondly and lastly, I was called by Mr. Necroto. He did not want to attend this morning. He's at his desk. He was not in the routing system for the highway rates that we have on the agenda. It's number 8299. He's trying to verify that those rates are correct. So he would hope to have that verification done for us by 2 o'clock.
Right.
So that we don't run into any problems with that. He also asked that I relay to the board that perhaps we may want to begin to approve these rates for a 6-month period, because apparently they expire in June. So from June through December 31st of the calendar year, if the rates were to go down, we may be paying a little bit more than we should. So that's something he'd asked the board to consider, but he should have this completed by 2 o'clock hopefully, and then we can vote the resolution.
Right, and he said to me, if they're not, just amend the resolution to January 7th, for the
Right.
next meeting.
Next
and-
meeting, and we can put them on.
And that would be the only thing, then they can have, at least extend the old rates.
Right.
In case of a major snowstorm.
Correct. That's all I have.
Mr. Creighton? Mr. Malloy?
Nothing.
Again, back to this point, with special permits, a special permit confers a special authority to use the property in a manner that is expressly permitted by the ordinance. While the property owner is not entitled to a special use permit merely for the asking, once it is shown that the contemplated use is in conformance with the conditions imposed, the special use permit must be granted unless there are reasonable grounds for its denial supported by substantial evidence. So it's in the ordinance, it's contemplated as a use that would be permitted subject to meeting those criteria. And again, you have to grant it unless you can find reasonable basis not to. So that, I think that answers your question. And there's case law that abounds with these type of things.
Yeah, no, I've always known special exception must be granted, or you basically you're just breaking general municipal law if they meet all criteria. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, yeah, and town law is what we talk about,
Right.
yes.
All right, move to adjourn.
Okay. Second.
Second.